In today's video, I'm going to show you how to successfully culture fairy shrimps. So I will be showing you how to get from this to this in only a short few steps. And you're only going to need a couple of things, one of them being a container. So right here I have a glass container, and I do recommend something between 1 to 3 gallons. A few other things that you'll need is the substrate. So I have a mixture, well, not a mixture, but I have sand right here and, I have peat moss. So the substrate will be sand, and this is good to house microorganisms, so bacteria and fungi, but most importantly, the microorganisms that live in here will help with the different cycles in the fish tank, such as the nitrogen cycle. So this is peat moss. The peat moss here is a good source of organic material. And what I've noticed from culturing fairy shrimps is that some kind of organic acid leaches from this and actually improves the hatching rates of many fairy shrimp species that I work with. Lastly, I have this hidden piece right here, which is a zoomite powder, which is a mixture of, well, it's rock dust, but from what I read, it has a lot of trace elements. I played around with different kind of rock dust, and I noticed this one produces really good results for me. So whenever I have issues with culturing fairy shrimps, they hatch, but they don't necessarily grow properly. This tends to fix it. So maybe it's giving them the essential minerals that the water's lacking. And lastly, you have drinking water, or you could also use spring water. I actually recommend spring water. But these will work just fine. All right, let's get started. So I got my sand, and typically for a 1 to 3 gallon container, I'm just going to use about a cup of sand. This one's already pre-rinsed. Do you need sand? Probably not, but it makes the cleanup process and even collecting the eggs is much easier with sand. So go ahead and put that there. Next, I have the peat moss. And in this case, I'm just going to use about a tablespoon of peat moss. So that's really it. It's really simple, actually. And lastly, oh, that's a terrible angle. And lastly, the ozonite powder. So I don't exactly know the water chemistry that is going on here, but that's fine. I just know that it's working, and that's what matters. So for this species, I'm using about 1/4 of a tablespoon and putting it in there. All right, now I have the water. I'm using tap water, but that doesn't matter. Well, I lied again. You know, tap water quality depends on where you live. And my tap water is fine, so I'm going to use it. I just leave it out for maybe 24 hours, and the chlorine will dissipate from the water. And if you don't have good tap water, then don't do that. Okay, now I'm adding the water. Yep. So I poured all the water in, and as you can tell, if I just drag my head down, because it's tracking me. Anyways, the water is cloudy, and that is due to all the ozonite powder in here. That will dissipate over time. It's either going to dissolve into the water or settle to the bottom. But usually I give this a day, and there's actually one more thing that I like to do. I have this powdered tubifex worms, and I just like to add a pinch in. And hopefully that will kickstart the nitrogen cycle as it breaks down. So yeah, that is it. It's actually pretty simple. What most people have struggled with is, well, obviously hatching the eggs, not the right temperature, not enough oxygen. So I'm gonna put this in my spot and I'm gonna put this on my shelf. That's crazy. I have an air pump that is attached to, well, not attached, but it's going to all the tanks. And so this is actually really important. The more oxygen that there is, it increases the hatching rates and the survival rate of your shrimp. So I do recommend it. You don't necessarily need it, but you might have a smaller batch of fairy shrimp that will survive. So just gonna stick it in, get it flowing, and I'm gonna leave it like that for a day. And then over here is where I have my shrimps. So there's a little bit of shrimp eggs in here that I've been collecting. I have a ton more, don't worry. But I'm just gonna add a teaspoon of this into this container. Once everything settles down, and soon enough, let me get in the right position for this. You will have flourishing fairy shrimp tanks, cultures. So if you're wondering where you could buy these fairy shrimp, specifically the ones that I showed you, if you go to my website, I actually sell them. So I have little packets that are shrimp eggs, and you can experience your own little fairy shrimp. If you don't like that, I also have these kits. This one's bare because I didn't put it together yet, but it has the substrate, the minerals, the food, basically everything you need to grow your own fairy shrimps and be successful. At least, yes, be successful. Everyone that has messaged me about my kids say that this is the first time they've actually grown something. So, but yeah, that is pretty much it, or what there is to it, growing fairy shrimp. At least this species, quite easy. Some of the other species, I'll make more videos. But if you have any questions or concerns, please comment, make a comment below. Actually, just make a comment about anything. And if you like this video that's kind of horribly put together, but at least I'm putting out content, and I'm more authentic, slightly manic, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel because I'm trying to put out more videos because I want people to get connected with these shrimps. And that's pretty much it.